There comes this anxiety-provoking moment for any newer banjo player, right? I'm talking about when a friend with a guitar says, "Hey, I heard you play the banjo, let's jam." Oh man, that can be scary, right? Like, I only know 2 songs, I learned them from tab, I don't even know the chords, I don't know what's going on, I don't know what I'm doing. Well, I'm here to help you. So what we're looking at today are 3 pretty simple backup clawhammer patterns that you can use in these situations. So simple stuff that's going to sound good. It's going to allow you to play with others quickly while you get more comfortable, maybe before you're taking the lead. Okay. So before we get started, check the description. There are some exercises there that are really going to help you grasp this material. It's a PDF, so go get that now and it'll be waiting in your email inbox by the time you finish this video. Also, if you could, hit that thumbs up button to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you think this content is useful. I do these videos, about twice a week, and we cover lots of banjo stuff here. We have a lot of fun. So yeah, please join us. Let's get right into it. Now, I'm going to use the chord progression from Boil Them Cabbage Down as our example here, right? And so that chord progression just goes G, C, G, D, G, C, G, D, G, right? Okay, not too bad. And you don't really have to worry about the progression too much while you watch this video, but it's there if you need it. And I'll link a tab for the song in the description as well if you're interested in learning more about that. Now, the first backup pattern we're going to look at is super simple. We're just going to kind of do this bouncing bass line thing, right? So all I'm doing is I'm just doing that straight bum diddy, but I'm bouncing between the 3rd and 4th strings on my index finger strikes. So 4, 3, 4, 3. And you can also go 3, 4, that's fine. 3. So really, it's 2 in 1, right? That's kind of cool. Yeah, use it to kind of fit the feel of the song. You'll hear what sounds better when you start to play, right? Don't worry about it too much. Just play something. So here's what that sounds like with our Boil Them Cabbage Down chord progression. So yeah, you want to get those chord changes smooth. That's something you're going to want to work on. And those exercises I linked will help with that. And then you're just going to work on keeping the steady bum diddy going with your right hand. So just simple, bouncy, sounds fun. I feel like it kind of has that almost like a classic country sound to it, right? Like a Johnny Cash type thing. I think that's kind of cool. So what happens when your guitar player friend or whoever is playing something maybe a little more modern? That sort of bouncy bass line can sometimes sound a little overpowering. So we might want to back it off just a little bit, which leads us into our second backup pattern. It's really the same thing. We're just adding a small amount of syncopation in there to break it up and give it a little bit more of a modern feel. So this is really good if, to try to accompany something a little more modern. So here's what it sounds like with our chord progression. Same basic thing here, right? We're taking our bum diddy with the bouncing bass line, but we're skipping the 3rd beat of the measure and basically moving that up 1. So the way it's going to work is we're going to go 1, 2, and, right? Now, when you hammer in, you're skipping the note and you're planting your thumb onto the 3rd string. Then you're going to pluck up as normal. Brush, stroke, thumb, pluck, right? So it's going to be 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and, right? That might take a little practice. We've got a little bit of syncopation. We've got a little bit of drop thumb in here. If you are not comfortable with the drop thumb, that's okay. Or maybe this is good for if you're just sort of trying to get the rhythm here. Don't worry about the drop thumb. Just pluck the 5th string in that rhythm. So that would be 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, And that can still sound really nice too. In fact, let me show you what it sounds like with our little boil them cabbage down chord progression. Really nice, right? So yeah, that is a great pattern for a more sort of modern feel. All right, let's move on to our third pattern. We're going to get just slightly fancier still here. We're going to really lean into the drop thumb on this one. So this is fantastic for, if you kind of want to maybe emulate a little bit of a bluegrass sound, like a banjo roll with Clawhammer. This is how we can do it, and it sounds pretty good. So let me play it for you, and then I'll show you how it works. Okay, so what we're doing here is still, we start off with that basic bum diddy. And now we do just a little descending drop thumb. So I'm just playing, so it's 1, 2, and now our third beat, we strike with our index finger on the first string. Doesn't matter what chord we're playing, just first string, and plant your thumb on the second. Pluck off on the end of the 3. So 3, and now your index finger is going to come down on the third string, and your thumb is going to pluck off on the 5th. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and, right? 1 and 3 and 4 and 1. And that can give you this sort of really nice rolling feel. I think is cool. Now, if, again, I don't mind simplifying, right? That's never a problem. If that drop thumb feels really difficult to you, if you're still kind of getting the hang of drop thumb, don't worry about it. Just don't do it. All you can do instead is 1, 2, and now you're just going to go. And you're just going to do that second index strike on the first string. That can still sound really nice and kind of give you a little bit of that rolling feel, I think is pretty cool. Now, I want to show you kind of how to put it all together. So this is great. You can use any one of these and play through the whole song, and it's going to sound good. This is how you sort of start to play along with your friends or with the group, whatever. Where it gets really fun is when you start to mix up these patterns. So let me show you what that might look like, where I sort of incorporate all 3 of these patterns, in a couple of playthroughs of our chord progression. So I start out with our basic bum diddy. See, I'm just kind of doing whatever feels right, just switching back and forth between those 3 patterns. And what's cool about that is those 3 patterns cover like a pretty large variety of possible other instrumental parts. Like you'll basically always kind of find a way to fit those in with whatever else is going on around you in most genres. So just kind of play around with those. Once you're comfortable with those 3 patterns, work on mixing them up, changing up between them, and that is really going to give you a leg up when you start to play with others and you want to start playing banjo backup. All right, see you next time.